Yo, what up, street dogs? Okay, a thought. Not all weight is created alike, and also I just wanted to use this chance to think about like just weight in general, like when is weight good, when is weight bad, and so forth. So why this distinction and why is this important? So basically, I think this distinction is important because I think generally speaking, guys want to gain weight and become bigger and more muscular and stronger, and then women want to lose weight. Now, the reason why this is such a bad measure is this. Not all weight is created alike. So what does that mean? This essentially means that the terminology and the thinking about this is all wrong. So for example, the term we shouldn't be saying is that you're overweight. It's you're over fat. It's actually kind of an interesting distinction. So the distinction is this. You could be a 300-pound football player and you're like 7 feet tall, and you could be overweight, but you're not over fat. You're probably like pure muscle. You're built like a tank. You kind of look like the juggernaut, and that's actually a good thing, right? However, if, let's say, you're 300 pounds, but you're 5 feet tall and you're 40% body fat, you're over fat, and that's a bad thing. But also, like with women too, the problem is a lot of women are trying to lose weight, but that's actually not accurate. What we're trying to do is lose body fat, because for all humans, regardless of your genetics or your race, gender, age, whatever, for almost all humans, having more muscle mass is good, and having less body fat is good as well. Now it also becomes a little bit confusing because consider the fact that sometimes actually having a higher body fat percentage is good. For example, if you have too low of body fat percentage, that's actually bad for your health. For example, it looks like the ideal body fat percentage for men is roughly 10%, give or take, if you want to look like in great athletic shape and actually be physiologically maximally healthy. And also thinking about health, for women, I think it's about 20%. So I think actually if women body fat percentage is less than 20%, your reproductive functions actually don't work as well. Like it's harder for women to get pregnant if the body fat percentage is too low, because then your body's signaling, oh, I don't have enough food or health to support a future baby or whatever. And also for men too, if you actually get less than 10% body fat, apparently actually you lose testosterone, you lose masculinity and so forth. And so you see those dudes with like 5% body fat. From an evolutionary perspective, that's actually, you're actually sicker, you're actually not as healthy. So I'm starting to wonder, like, do we humans, when you look at other humans naked or body fat percentage wise or muscle mass, we kind of have this intuition like what is physiologically superior or inferior for sexual fitness. So this is really interesting to me because the whole time we're saying, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. No, what we should be saying is lose fat. But the problem is it just kind of sounds bad, right? Like imagine going to your doctor, you're like, yo, you need to lose fat, you're over fat. It just sounds really mean. Whereas if you say you're overweight, it sounds like, it doesn't actually sound as bad to say you're overweight. But once again, I mean, people, they essentially know what you're trying to say, but the problem is, once again, by not being specific enough, people do the wrong things. Then like, as a woman, you might like become a bulimic and start throwing up your food because you're trying to lose weight, and you become the slave of a scale. Whereas the problem is, let's say you're a woman and you're trying to lose weight, but you start like powerlifting or lifting weights, your body might concurrently be increasing body muscle mass and decreasing body fat mass at the same time, and your weight actually not be changing. Sometimes actually you know, your weight actually might go up. Let's say you're a woman and you added 10 pounds of muscle and you got rid of 8 pounds of body fat. Physiologically, you would look so much more beautiful and epic and powerful. But you know, the scale will lie to you. Essentially, it says that well, it doesn't lie, right? It accurately shows that you increased 2 pounds, but that's not really representative of your desired outcome, which is improved beauty, improved physiological health, improved, you know, body image, whatever. Same thing goes with guys, right? Like even I look at the male physique as beautiful too, and you know, what we're trying to do as guys is we're not trying to gain weight, because yo, if you gained, you know, let's say, you know, this is a lot of things. A lot of like skinny guys are trying to add muscle mass, but they're trying to gain weight, and they always look at the scale to see, oh, have I gained weight? But this is also a problem too, because if you gain 10 pounds of just like body fat, like sure, yeah, you have more weight on the scale, but physiologically you don't look as beautiful. It looks uglier. So I think it's important for us to consider the importance of physiology and thinking about, you know, not just gaining weight for weight's sake. And also it's tricky too, because not all weight is created alike. So let's say you're trying to, you know, build a sports car to go really fast. You might want to shave weight, like doing weight reduction, carbon fiber, blah, 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 blah. But you don't want to remove too much weight from the engine, because the engine is actually what powers the car. So actually, let's say you took out the turbocharger of a car, you actually might make the car go slower. So it's really tricky. Not all weight is created alike. And let us start to think more in terms of fat. So don't talk about overweight, talk about overfat. Let us think more about muscle. And also, I mean, this is something I was thinking about too. It's a little bit pointless to try to, you know, kind of berate people on like losing fat, whatever. I think it's just more motivational to tell people to just move around more, go to the gym, lift weights, and increase muscle mass. And then I think naturally just tell people to lift more weights. Naturally, people are going to change their diets, eat less sugar and soda and crap, and then, you know, essentially change their bodies for the better. But ultimately, my tip, just keep moving, increase muscle, and the more muscle, the better. Peace out.